Hello, today I'm going to be playing with my Spellbinders Glimmer Machine, and in front of me there are some of the plates that I will be using in this video. I have some from Waffle Flowers, some from Spellbinders. There's even a background die set that I'm going to be experimenting with. And the papers are just basic white, thin, thick. There's also some pearl papers and this rainbow pad that I'll be making a couple things with. And my multiple colors of foils. Got quite a few of them there. So the first one I decided to use was the waffle flower leaves. I love that set. I have the stamps and the dies to go with it. So I'm getting my Spellbinders Platinum machine ready. That's what I'll be using to run that through. So I'm cutting off the first little bit of that foil roll. It was a little scratched up. So I wanted a nice clean piece. So I got my machine already heated up, and I'm putting the plates down there a little spaced apart so I can make sure that the dies will fit. And just placing that there to make sure that it's good enough. And I will cut the foil approximately exactly the same size as my cardstock piece. And you lay the shiny side to the plates, and then your cardstock on top. But as you see me doing there, I am touching it and moving it way too much. Once you put your foil down and your cardstock down, you shouldn't move it around, because when this comes out, you'll see why. Usually I don't. I haven't used this for a while, so I guess I was just a little bit out of practice. But as you can see there, it's just a big mess. It foiled it twice. There's spots on there that shouldn't be there. The one in the center is just about the only one that looks good. There is that sandy eraser there you can use. But on that pearl shimmer paper, once you use the eraser on it, it like dulls the finish. So I thought I'd try it again. And I'm using that teal foil. And this time I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to put the foil down. And then I decided to use a piece of black cardstock from this stack here. And I'm going to put it down and not move it. And I'm not even going to put the plates on it. So I'm going to let the machine heat up. And then I'm going to release it. And then put my plates on. And then run it through the die cut machine. And we'll see what that one comes out looking like. And it comes out much better. And it looks really pretty on that black, that teal color. It looks really well, so I'm pleased with that one. And I have that magnet there, that silicone mat. You can pick your dies up with that magnet because they're really hot, so you don't want to touch those and burn yourself. So the next plates that I wanted to try to use was this sun, and I believe this is a Spellbinders die, I think. I'm not positive, but it is really pretty. I have used this one before, and I have this gold foil. It's almost like a holographic. It's really pretty. That's what I'm going to use on this one. So I'm lining up my foil with the gray part of the Glimmer Machine just to give a reference of size. So I'm going to do the same thing, put the foil down, pretty side down. And I'm going to get a piece of cardstock out of the stack. I think I use a blue. I'm going for like a sky. Blue cardstock, and put it down, and I'm not going to put the plates on it. I'm going to hit the button, let it heat up, pull it out, put the plates on it, and run it through the die cut machine just once. I'm not going to go backwards with it. Those bigger plates, you get a lot more pressure as it's running through your die cut machine. And the result from that one is really pretty. Look at that sparkle. So sparkly. I love that. You could put a sentiment there in the center and call that a background, call that done. So I wanted to use that big piece there. So I'm going to take that sun big plate off, and I'm going to put the solid plate down. And the solid plate, you could leave heat up on there a little bit longer than you would just the smaller ones, because it's so large. It's just a big solid piece. So once that's heated up and ready, you can put your foil on that and hit your button. Let your timer, well, I gotta put my paper on. This time I went with a different color of cardstock. You can let your timer though run a little bit longer on that larger plate because it is so big. And this one's even stiffer running through the machine, but it just feels like a big background die you're running through. But it looks really nice with that yellow cardstock. This is going to have a lot of shimmer on it. Super sparkly. Then you can cut that down and put it on the front of your card, and you're good to go. So next I'm going to be using some sentiments, and I've never had any luck with sentiments on this Glimmer machine. I don't know why. I've tried them all at different angles, straight, up and down. So I thought I'd try it again. This set here doesn't have any, I don't have the dies for it. They're just sentiments. And then they have the little border to go along with it. So decided to use red foil on just white cardstock. So I'm doing the same as before, just putting the foil down, putting my piece of cardstock on top of that, deciding which one I want to use. I think I just used the thick cardstock. Just plain white. It's a little bit bigger than what I needed, but that's what I had. So we'll let the timer go, put your plates on, and run that through your machine. It glides really smooth. I didn't have any lumps and bumps, but it still did not turn out well at all. There are a couple on there that I can use that aren't too blurry. There's a couple I can erase some spots. That sand eraser works really well. But the bottom ones came out a little blurry, so after doing it twice, I decided to not even bother with the other sentiment set. This time I tried to do same thing, but it's a magenta colored foil. This is my second time around, sorry. But I did the same thing, put the cardstock on there, plates. I didn't think I moved it around at all. Ran it through the die cut machine. Now this is sped up. I do go slow when I run it through there. And I pretty much got the same result as I did the first time around. They're kind of blurry. They like doubled. So I don't know what I do wrong when I do sentiments. They don't always come out very well. I'll get maybe 2 out of the whole bunch. So enough with the sentiments. On with this background dye. This is actually a dye. Now this will make a very thin foiled background, but I've never used it before, so I thought I'd see what it looks like. So I went with, I believe, silver foil, and we'll cut that down to size. I just used a piece of white cardstock, not the shimmer, it's just the white, very smooth. Again, hit your timer button, let that, once it stops flashing, you can pull it out of there, put your plates on, and run it through the die cut machine. I didn't really have, there wasn't a whole lot of pressure on that, so I wasn't sure how well it would come out, but it worked really well. I was very happy with that. Now that is a little bit different size than an A2. It's a little wider and a little taller. So it's a little bit too big for a A2 card, but you can still trim it down and make it fit. So I wanted to see what that solid piece will do. If it works well, it will have a lot of silver on it. So I went back and I got my solid plate and put it back on there. Let that heat up. And then you just lay your foil right on top of the solid plate like it's a big die plate, and run it through just like you would any other piece. Again, pretty side foil down, and then your cardstock, hit your button, let it warm up, put your plates on, or some people put them on. I decided not to do that. And again, run it through and see how this one come out. Not very good. There's a lot of it missing. I think ink resists that foil, so I think I might just try to like sponge on some ink, see if it'll fill in that space. So that was my fun with the foil machine. I will make some cards with the pieces that I made today, and I'll share within the next video I make. I'll actually put all of the pieces together and make some cards with them. So if you have any suggestions on those sentiment plates on how to get them nice looking, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.